It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Thursday, the 14th of December. I'm Michael Groff. Warm, dry, and breezy conditions across the state today, turning somewhat cooler this weekend, but we're still looking at the potential of a big weather pattern change coming in here by the end of next week. Maybe our first significant precipitation event in a long time. Plus, of course, we'll talk about the Christmas forecast. So let's dive in this morning. 77 degrees was the high in the valley yesterday after a morning low of 46. And outside right now here at 5:25 a.m., we are under partly cloudy skies, starting the day out at 46 degrees at Sky Harbor. Dew points at 19, relative humidity 32%. The winds are light, and the barometer is rising. Temperatures across the area this morning, 34, the cool spot at Fort McDowell. It's in the upper 30s in a couple of pockets around the valley. Most of us, however, are in the low 40s to low 50s. The water vapor satellite still shows the same old pattern for the most part, a big ridge out here in the west, a trough in the northeast, but there is a little short wave passing through the Four Corners today, and that's going to help tighten up the gradient just a bit and bring us some breezy conditions. We see that on the watch warning map with some wind advisories and red flag warnings along the western border of Arizona, Southern California, southern Nevada, quite windy today. And, of course, that's not going to help with the wildfire situation. Elsewhere, air stagnation advisories and freezing fog for yet another morning across parts of the Pacific Northwest. Some winter weather advisories in sections of South Dakota, as well as the Appalachians and Pennsylvania. Winter storm warnings in a few spots there. On the convective outlook, most of the nation is again in stable air, so no organized severe weather, and yet another day without any thunderstorm areas forecast across the nation. And rainfall around here for the next 7 days coming from the WPC. This is valid through next Thursday morning. This is showing about 1/10 of an inch or so in parts of southeast Arizona. And just to the east of the valley, maybe a little bit of measurable rain for a system that comes through here this weekend, which we'll certainly talk about right now as we get out to the models. This is the GFS, the 06Z run valid at 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time today. The upper look at 18,000 feet. There's that little short wave passing through, and with a big sprawling ridge out here over the west coast, that's going to tighten up the pressure gradient just a bit. Down at the surface today, breezy to locally windy conditions, especially along the Colorado River and into Southern California, where they could see wind gusts around 40 miles per hour or so. Some areas of blowing dust possible, and certainly that does not help with the wildfire situation. Here in the valley, winds could gust between 20 to 25 miles per hour at times. Certainly not going to be an all-day event. Otherwise, the sky is partly cloudy. Highs this afternoon, 74 to 77. Tonight, partly cloudy. Lows around 40 to about 50, depending upon where you are in the valley. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny skies. And again, highs in the mid-70s. The winds should back off just a bit. On Saturday, we've got a trough that's going to dig in through the Intermountain West, and the southern end of that is going to pass mainly north of the state, but some of its energy will move through enough to where we could see some isolated showers, especially over eastern Arizona, maybe becoming more widely scattered by about Saturday night. Snow levels should still be pretty high. We're not looking at a big snow event anywhere across the state either. And here in the valley, I just don't think we're going to get any rain out of this. Maybe a sprinkle, and I think the better chances will be just to the east over eastern Maricopa County. Even at that, just a few hundredths of an inch possible Saturday night into Sunday. Highs on Saturday will back off into the upper 60s. On Sunday, the GFS has us in the low 60s. I think we're more likely going to be in about the 65 to 68 degree range with partly cloudy skies and breezy conditions. Monday, we're mostly sunny with highs upper 60s to about 70. Should be the low 70s on Tuesday and Wednesday, but here comes another trough bringing rain and snow to our north and west. And a week from today, this is Thursday, the 21st of December, a sharp trough beginning to develop now over the southwest states and through the Great Basin with much needed rain and snow potentially coming into central and southern California, Nevada, and clouds on the increase here in Arizona. We'd have high temperatures falling back into the mid and upper 60s. Here's Friday, the 22nd of December, and look at that. What a cold system this is for the southwest. Upper heights under 540 decameters, and that means cold air. The snow level's plummeting. And widespread rain and mountain snow across the southwest, and especially here in Arizona. This could mean a snow event for Flagstaff, Prescott, Payson, the Grand Canyon, Sedona, and rain here in the valley finally. Temperatures falling back maybe even further to the low 60s, perhaps cooler than that. And let's keep going to the end of the 10-day forecast period. Saturday, the 23rd, this system's still over the southwest. Very cool and unsettled conditions to continue with valley rain and mountain snow. But this is still 10 days out. Now, we've seen some consistency in both the European and GFS regarding this system. So the global models are on board, but obviously the details this far out are still a little bit up in the air. But the general message is a pattern change looks more and more likely by the end of next week and as we head toward Christmas. And speaking of Christmas, let's just keep going. Here's the GFS 276 hours into the future as we go toward Christmas morning. And we still have cool and unsettled conditions across parts of the southwest. This would mean a nice, cool Christmas day. Highs likely only in the mid and upper 50s. Lows could be down in the 30s. Some snow, perhaps over eastern Arizona, New Mexico. A big snow event for parts of Texas and Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, and through much of the Midwest. And some sleet. Maybe a wintry mix for places like Shreveport and Memphis. Looks like a interesting Christmas forecast, to be sure. Obviously, the details a little sketchy this far out. Let's check the temperatures coming off the European ensemble through the period and look what happens to those temperatures by Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Highs getting down into the low and mid 50s, but again, I'm not sure it gets quite that cool for quite that long, but the general message of a pattern change is certainly looking increasingly likely. And that's going to wrap it up for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is going to come back here tomorrow morning. And if you like our videos, be sure to subscribe so that whenever we post a brand new one, you'll get the notifications. Otherwise, be safe out there. Have a great Thursday.